In this video, I will be discussing integration. So for your learning outcomes, at the end of the lesson, students should be able to first recognize and use notation for antiderivatives. So we have different notations na ginagamit to denote antiderivatives. Second is to understand that antiderivative is the inverse of derivative. Third, understand that there are infinite number of antiderivatives for a given function. And last one is to find the general form for the antiderivatives of a function. So let's have antiderivatives. So at this point, we have seen how to calculate derivatives of many functions. We now ask a question that turns this process around. So alam na natin kung paano kina-calculate yung derivatives. We have already discussed the differentiation formulas, the derivative of constant, the derivative of power, the derivative of sum, the derivative of product, and the derivative of a quotient. So, given a function f, how do we find a function with the derivative f? If we can find a function capital F with derivative small f, we call f as antiderivative of f. Okay, let's proceed with the definition of antiderivative. A function f is an antiderivative of the function f. I'll repeat. A function capital F is an antiderivative of the function small f if f prime of x is equal to f of x for all x in the domain of x. So, ganito yon. So, this capital F ay antiderivative ng small f kapag daw yung derivative nitong f ay equal sa function na small f. Okay, so we'll have examples para mas maintindihan nyo. Okay, so consider the function f of x is equal to 2x. Knowing the power rule of differentiation, we conclude that capital F of x is equal to x squared is an antiderivative of f since f prime of x is equal to 2x. So, itong function natin, f of x is equal to 2x. Sabi dito, we conclude that capital F of x is equal to x squared. Ito daw x squared ay antiderivative ng function na to, ng f of x, since kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng capital F of x, ang lalabas ay 2x. Okay? So, applying the power rule for differentiation, so yung x squared, kapag kinuha natin yung derivative, so that's f prime of x is equal to, so applying the power rule, we have the exponent 2 times the exponent 1, that will be 2. Then the variable x, and then the exponent is 2 minus 1. So this will be equal to 2x, 2 minus 1 is 1. So the derivative of capital F of x is 2x, which is equivalent to the f of x is equal to 2x. So, yun yung concept ng antiderivative. A function is an antiderivative of a function if kapag kinuha natin yung derivative, lalabas yung original function. Gaya nito, when we differentiate capital F of X, nung dinifferentiate natin siya, ang lumabas ay yung function na f of x. So we could say that f of x, capital F of x is an antiderivative of the function small f of x. So ang tanong, are there any other antiderivatives of f? Meron pa bang antiderivative itong f of x is equal to 2x maliban dito sa capital F of x is equal to x squared? So the answer, yes. Since the derivative of any constant c is 0, x squared plus c is also an antiderivative of 2x. Okay? Therefore, x squared plus 5 and x squared minus 12 are also antiderivative. So, kasi kapag dinifferentiate natin yan, for example, this is f of x is equal to x squared plus 5. So, the derivative of x squared is 2x. And the derivative of 5 is, of course, 0. So, the derivative of capital F of x is equal to x squared plus 5 is still 2x, which is equivalent to the original function f of x is equal to 2x. Okay, so let's have finding several antiderivatives of a given function. So example, find an antiderivative of f of x, small f of x is equal to x squared. Okay, so maghahanap tayo, ganito yung concept niya. Maghahanap tayo ng function na kapag kinuha natin yung derivative niya, ang lalabas ay x squared. Okay, so solution, notice that capital F of x is equal to 1/3 x cubed is an antiderivative of small f of x since kapag kinuha natin yung derivative nito, capital f of x is equal to 1/3 x cubed, ang lalabas ay x squared, which is equivalent to the original function. Okay, so kukunin natin yung derivative niyan, capital F prime of x is equal to derivative with respect to x is 1/3 x cubed. So i-multiply natin itong exponent na 3 dito sa coefficient na 1/3. So 3 times 1 is 3 over 3 x cube minus 1 is equal to, so 3 over 3 is 1. And then x raised to 3 minus 1 is 2. So, the derivative of this function, capital F of x, is equal to the function f of x is equal to x squared. Then we can say that f of x is an antiderivative of small f of x. Further, observe that capital F prime of x is equal to derivative with respect to x, 1/3 x cubed plus 5 is equal to x squared. So, kung mapapansin nyo, naglagay tayo dito ng plus 5. So, nag-add tayo ng constant. And then, we also know that kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng constant, that will be 0. So, if we differentiate capital F of x, the result will still be x squared. So that capital G of x is equal to 1/3 x cubed plus 5 is also an antiderivative of f. So yung f of x is equal to 1/3 x cubed, and also capital G of x is equal to 1/3 x cube plus 5. Okay, these are antiderivatives of f. This function. Antiderivative yan ng function na to. Small f of x is equal to x square. In fact, sabi dito, for any constant c, we have the derivative with respect to x of 1/3 x cubed plus 5 is equal to x square. Okay? So, ang ibig lang sabihin nun, kahit na anong constant ang i-add natin dito sa 1/3 x cubed, the derivative will still be x square because the derivative of a constant is 0. So, it doesn't matter kahit anong constant ang i-add natin dito sa 1/3 x cubed. Ang lalabas pa rin na derivative ay x square. So, magiging antiderivative pa rin sila ng function na yan. Okay. Next, let's have the general form of an antiderivative. In general, observe that if capital F is an antiderivative of small f and c is a constant, we have the derivative with respect to x of capital F of x plus c is equal to f prime of x plus 0 is equal to f of x. Thus, capital F of x plus c is also an antiderivative of f of x for any constant c. So, this is the general form of an antiderivative. Sabi dyan, okay, capital F of x plus c, the derivative of capital F of x plus c is equal to f prime of x plus 0. Kasi itong derivative ng 0 ay itong derivative ng constant ay 0. So, capital F of x plus c is also an antiderivative of f of x for any constant c. On the other hand, are there any antiderivatives of small f of x besides capital F of x plus c? Okay, so the answer is no. So ito lang yung general form ng antiderivative of small f of x at wala nang iba. Ang magbabago lang ay yung constant na ilalagay natin dyan, pero itong capital F of x ay hindi magbabago. Ito lang yung form of the antiderivative. Theorem 1.1 says that suppose that both capital F and capital G are both antiderivatives of small f on an interval I. Then, capital G of x is equal to capital F of x plus c for some constant c. Okay, ang ibig sabihin lang yan, itong capital G of x ay antiderivative din ng function na small f. Kasi itong capital F of x, meron lang siyang plus c. Okay? Proof. Since capital F and capital G are both antiderivatives of small f, we have that g prime of x is equal to f prime of x. Kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng capital G of x at capital F of x, they will be equal to each other. It now follows that G of x is equal to capital F of x plus c for some constant c as desired. Okay, so let's have example. For each of the following functions, find all the antiderivatives. So example number 1, f of x is equal to 3x squared. Solution, because the derivative of x cubed is equal to 3x squared, then f of x is equal to x cubed is an antiderivative of f of x is equal to 3x squared. Okay, so naghahanap tayo ng antiderivative ng function na to, small f of x is equal to 3x squared. Kapag sinabi nating naghahanap tayo ng antiderivative na to, naghahanap tayo ng function wherein kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng function na yon, ang lalabas ay itong 3x squared. So sabi dito sa solution natin, because the derivative of x cubed is equal to 3x squared, then capital F of x is equal to x cubed is an antiderivative. Of small f of x is equal to 3x squared. So try natin. So capital F of x is equal to x cubed. So for us to say that capital F of x is an antiderivative of small f of x, we should get 3x squared when we differentiate capital F of x. So ngayon kukunin natin yung derivative nito. Capital F prime of x is equal to, so applying the power rule, we have the exponent 3 times the coefficient 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then x, and then exponent 3 minus 1 is 2. 3x squared. So 3x squared, yan, and then 3x squared, which means that capital F of x is really an antiderivative of small f of x. Okay, so therefore, every antiderivative of 3x squared is of the form x cubed plus c for some constant c, and every function of the form x cubed plus c is an antiderivative of 3x squared. Okay? So lahat ng antiderivative of 3x squared ay of the form x cubed plus c. And then, lahat ng function na x cubed plus c ay antiderivative ng 3x squared. Okay? So, so we have x cubed plus 2. For example, capital G of x is equal to x cubed plus 2. Capital H of x is equal to x cubed plus 35. So lahat ng mga functions na to, all of these functions are considered as antiderivatives of the function small f of x is equal to 3x squared. Kasi kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng mga to, ng f of x is equal to x cubed, ng g of x is equal to x cubed plus 2, h of x is equal to x cubed plus 35, and all other functions of the form x cubed plus c for some constant c, lahat ng yan ay antiderivatives of the function small f of x is equal to 3x squared. Okay, so let's have example letter B. So, small f of x is equal to cosine x. So, ngayon, maghahanap tayo ng antiderivative na kung saan maghanap tayo ng function na kung saan kapag kinuha natin yung derivative niya, ang lalabas ay cosine x. So let's have solution. So we have the derivative of sine x is equal to cosine x. Okay? The derivative of sine x is equal to cosine x. Okay, ito yon. So ito yung mga derivative ng trigonometric functions natin. Kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng sine x, ang result ay cosine x. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung hinahanap natin. So, capital F of x is equal to sine x is an antiderivative of cosine x. Kasi kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng sine x, ang lalabas ay cosine x. Therefore, every antiderivative of cosine x is of the form sine x plus c for some constant c, and every function of the form sine x plus c is an antiderivative of cosine x. So, kahit pa yan sine x plus 10. For example, we have a of x is equal to sine x plus 10. Capital B of x is equal to sine x minus 55, and all other functions of the form sine x plus c. So, kahit anong constant ang ilagay natin dyan, the result will still be cosine. Okay?